Hi, you're welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, thanks for stopping by and please consider subscribing. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. So today I'll be showing you how to cut a corset with 3 pieces bra cup. I have my basic bodice block here and it stops at the half length. In case you don't have any idea how to go about this, drafting your basic bodice block, there's a video on my channel that you can quickly watch that so you understand this other video. So now I've already marked out my chest line, the bust point, the underbust and the half length. It's actually looking faint because I had to use biro here because I don't want too many lines on the paper. That's why. So now to start drafting the corset proper, I will have to observe have an inch at the center front like so, and I will have to draw a line from the chest line down to the half length. Okay, so we have our half inch now. The next thing I will have to do is to confirm the measurement I have from the bust point to the under bust, and I have 3 1/4 here. So with that, I will use it to form a circle, making my nipple to nipple line the center point on the bust point. So I'll be using that 3 1/4 to make a circle all around. Okay. Okay, so we have our cup now. So now the next we'll be doing will be contouring. So on the under bust, I'll be using 1 1/4. You can use 1 inch. All right, you can use 3/4, but I choose to use 1 1/4 on both sides of the nipple to nipple line to do my contouring. And I'll come down with half an inch from the bust point downwards and from the bust point upwards. All right, that's so that our bra cup will not have pointed, will not be pointed in the middle. It will just be a curve, a blended curve. So on the chest line, I'm observing 1 inch on both sides, okay, of the nipple to nipple line. And having done that, I'll use my curve to curve this. So having done that, I will transfer the same 1 1/4 down all the way to the half length. So I'm marking 1 1/4 as well on both sides of the nipple to nipple line. And then I'll take this down to the half length. And that will be our dart. Now, at this point, I would like to take our measurement on the chest line before I start cutting out anything or completing the contouring. So I'll measure out my bust measurement, which is 10.5 inches. And on the waistline, I'm using waist 34. So I'm measuring waist 34 here. Now I'm not adding any sewing allowance. So now we have about 2.5 inches here that we've taken out for the dart. So we'll be adding 2.5 inches, to still keep our measurements intact. So here we took out 2 inches. So we're adding 2 inches back here. Okay. So with that, I'll have to curve from here, connect the dot to the half length, and then the back is always 2 inches shorter than the front, so I'll be going up at the edge here with 2 inches. With 2 inches, and with that I'll cuff it So now at this point, I don't want my cleavage to show too much, so I'll be going up from the bust point upwards with 1.5 inches. Okay, and from there I'll connect to meet this dart point on the under bust. Using the cuff part of my pattern master, I will connect this to meet this cuff, like so. Now remember, we had already formed a circle here, so because we've taken out some inches from here, so I like to add 1 more inch so that the cup will not be too small. So I can add like 1 inch, or if you're taking from here, you can add like 2 inches. Okay, from here. Now we took 2 inches, one here. So on this chest line, I'm adding the 2 inches back. Okay, so now I have to use the markers so that the lines will be pronounced now. So like I said, we took out 2 inches so that the cup will not be that small. I'm adding the 2 inches back. All right. Remember, we used 1.5 inches up here, so the lines has to correspond. So I'm going up with 1.5 inches there. So it therefore means at this point, I will connect it to meet the dart point here. So using the cuff part of my pattern master, I'm gonna connect that point to the under bust. All right, like so. And then from here, I'll cuff it to meet the dart up there. And from here, I'll connect it to meet this other point. Okay, now, so we've formed our cup now. So the next thing we'll have to do will be to actually divide it. Okay, now for the first part will just be will be a single part, all right, that will run all the way from here to there to the other side. You can choose to use 2 inches or 2.5, but I'll be using 2 inches. All right, now from this point I'm marking 2 inches, and from this point too I'll be marking in 2 inches. Then I'll connect the line, connect the dots from here to run. I'll use an arc. I'm connecting it to meet this 1/2 inch that we took. All right, so from there I'll cuff it. So we'll have our first cut so that when we are cutting out our dart, and then we'll still have our shape back. Okay, so the next thing we'll be doing now is to cut it out. Okay, so after cutting it out, so we'll have the same point on the back bodice. I would like to extend this line, okay, so that when you cut it out, it will be the same thing for the back. So I'm connecting the line like so. So if I'm cutting out this part, now, it will be like this. Okay, so that will be our shape for the front. For the back bodies, I'll need to observe the zip allowance. Okay, I've placed it on the back bodice now, and to know my back bodice half length, all right, remember I used 11 inches for my chest line, so I'll mark 16.5 inches, and that's what I'll be connecting to make this point. Okay, so to have it as a guide, I'll cut out the front bodice first, then I'll know what to connect to my back half length. That's where I'll observe my darts for the back. Okay, now remember for the front, we added some inches there, and I won't need that for the back, so I'll have to put those measurements inside. So I folded the measurement I added for the front in this. I won't need that for the back. Now remember, this is my back half length, so I'll be observing my dart here. Now my nipple to nipple measurement is 4 inches. Okay, so I'll observe 4 inches and then I'll draw a line upwards. And then I'll observe ½ inch on both sides for my dart. That's it. So I'll draw it now to meet that line up. Now at my back half length now, I like to go in with 1 inch. Okay, that's so not to have bulge when I'm inserting my zipper. So I'll connect it like so to meet the back. And I'm observing about 1 inch for my zipper now. So I can now cut it out. So this is my back pieces now. So I can label this B1 and B2 for the side. Now when you're cutting it on fabric, remember to add in your seaming allowance, alright, all around. So we'll go back to our front bodies now to cut out all the dart. This for our front bodies now, so I'll label this F1 and the side will be F2. For our cup now, to have our 3 pieces, I'll cut this that we formed out. And then I will join this using a masking tape. That's our cup. So we'll label this. Make sure that you don't confuse yourself. The side piece is bigger than the inside. So that's our cup. And then when we cut it on fabric, we'll be adding ½ inch all the way around. Okay, for our seaming allowance. Okay, so I have cut them out on fabric now. So these are my cups, the front bodices and the back pieces. Now for the cup, you need to be sure, you need to be careful so that you will not mix it up, all right? So you need to place them such a way that you will still remember which one falls which side. Okay, I hope that makes sense. I won't be using bra cups, so I'm using Warden for my bra cups. So that will be it. And the next thing, we'll need to take it to the machine and then we'll start sewing. So if this video adds any value to you at all, kindly subscribe, like and share, and stay tuned for the sewing video. Thank you.